Mr. President, honored guests, friends, I'm delighted and grateful to be able to address you today. I'd like to elaborate a bit on my beautiful Italian colleagues' words on identity and the concept of something that I suggest to you is fundamental to cultural diplomacy, fundamental to sustainable cultural diplomacy, and of course fundamental to the impact that small states might have in this big world. Jesus wept. That is the shortest sentence in the King James Version of the New Testament, as my new Italian friend can attest to. It also illustrates quite nicely almost the entirety of Christian theology. We have the dual nature of the Christ, we have a vision of the afterlife, and a comparison to the present life. 2 words. That government by the people, for the people, and of the people shall not perish from the earth. That's the last sentence of the Gettysburg Address, one of the shortest speeches of any politician in American history, made by Abraham Lincoln. This speech very precisely captured the rationale for our Civil War, our horrible Civil War, the reason that it had to happen, the sacrifice of the men who fought and died, and the rationale for my country itself. Less than 1 page of writing. These are small statements with tremendous world-changing impact. I suggest that these statements are not that different from countries. How many of you have a Thai restaurant in your city? How many of you like Thai food? Is it normal to have a Thai restaurant on, the corner? I don't know. It is now. And why is that? Well, as you're all acquainted with, my country does things from time to time, and we were involved in a war in Southeast Asia. And during this Vietnam War, we operated out of Thailand. And as a result, as is common with conflicts, many servicemen came home with brides from the local area. So we had an influx of Thai immigration at the conclusion of that war, during the war, actually. One family, as is common with immigrants, brings, again, their culture as a commodity, in this case, the cuisine, set up a restaurant across the street from Paramount Studios in Hollywood. Because that restaurant was so convenient for producers and talent, actors and so forth, and directors to have meetings, it became a gathering place for the elite of Hollywood. And they liked the food. Again, the culture sold itself. So this became a thing, and pretty soon it was becoming a trendy item in the United States. I went to law school in Hancock Park in Los Angeles, which fortunately for me was a block away from Larchmont Village. Larchmont Village is the section of Los Angeles where all of the modeling agencies are. So I spent a lot of time there. And when they put in an elaborate, very nice Thai restaurant, Thai food had arrived as a thing in the United States. And why am I telling you this? It didn't happen accidentally. When the Thai government realized that Thai were immigrating all over the world and taking their cuisine with them and opening restaurants, they said, some of these people really aren't very good cooks, and this is going to make us look bad. Because if you understand Thai culture, and I do, I did a semester of law school in Bangkok, and also my wife is a product of this experience we had in Thailand during the Vietnam War, my lovely wife. So Thai culture is embodied in its food. I mean, the elders in Thailand will tell you that every single recipe embodies some aspect of culture. So it's very important to get it right. So they created a school and an actual program. They said, look, if you want to go abroad and open a Thai restaurant and give our culture to other people, you must do it right. We will train you free of charge. Just let us know. We will give you everything you need to do this properly. They stopped there. They didn't do much more than that, but it was enough. So I think everyone is now acquainted with Thailand. And what kind of feeling do you have about Thailand because of the food? I think it's very positive. Thailand's a small state. It's been as it describes itself, as Korea described itself, the shrimp between 2 whales. Thailand has always tried to stay neutral and be a positive force. They can do this partly because, I suggest, of the reputation created by the reception that their food has given people. They enjoy the experience. They have positive feelings. Okay, how many of you have not eaten at McDonald's? I think we unfortunately all have. Okay, if Thai food is representative of Thai culture, what is McDonald's representative of? Many of you are probably thinking American culture. I'm sorry, it does appear that way. It's not entirely true. It is a product of American culture. If you go to a Thai restaurant, you have a product of Thai culture. You also have a product of Thai identity. If you eat a cheeseburger from McDonald's, how does that compare to, and correct me if I'm misstating this, pleshkavica? Da? Pleshkavica? Cheeseburger. Which one's better? Yes, because that has your culture and your identity. McDonald's does not have that. So when you remove identity from something, I don't know that it's anything anymore. Is that really a cheeseburger? And I suggest to you it's not really American either. I hope you'll trust me on that. What happens when you take away identity? I suggest that people, we as individuals, are very much, our psychology is very similar to that of communities, societies, nations, cultures. We behave in very similar ways. As people, we build our identities around the things we have near and dear, our spouse, our children, our job. What happens when we lose that? If we're fired from our job, if our spouse dies, or God forbid, we lose a child? Part of our identity is ripped away. And we mourn. And we're not ourselves anymore. We lose confidence. We lose a lot of things. The outcome is to quote Yeats, things fall apart. If you look around, pardon me, you see that, the dishes pile up, the lawn's not cut. Excuse me. I get a little emotional. Things happen. But, it's very obvious that there's decay. And what restores that? What restores that is confidence. So if you look at societies that have had part of their identities ripped away, there's a force towards homogeneity, to become McDonald's in world society. And sometimes there are benefits offered. In paths to accession to certain organizations, you have to remove parts of your identity. So my question to you is whether or not it's worth it to follow those paths, or whether there are better ways to do this. Because when you have these things ripped away, until you restore confidence, you've lost your identity. And then it's very difficult to move forward. It's very difficult to have the energy and the purpose and the drive and the understanding. So what restores the confidence? Those two statements that I began with are honest. Honesty. But it's a different type of honesty. I suggest to you the greatest cultural ambassador the United States has ever received is Bruce Lee. He came to America to make a living. He did some things he wasn't supposed to do, and part of what he was doing was teaching us Kung Fu, Chinese culture, one of the greatest things. And for a generation or two or three of American men and women, we had someone who was not a European stock American as a hero. He made Chinese culture and the concept of friendship and society very much available. And he was obviously a tremendous influence on me. But he was also perhaps the greatest fighter the world has ever known. He was a warrior. He was a philosopher. But the core of everything he was able to be, was because he was honest with himself. He continually repeated that. And what he means by that is that he knew exactly what his body and his mind could and could not do. He knew where he could go and where he couldn't, and how quickly he could get there. And that is what made him so good. But he also didn't let anyone try to change that, even in Hollywood. He gave a short speech about it. He said, I'm not going to do these things that are bravado. I'm going to do what I'm capable of doing. I am me. I'm honest about that. And that gave him the confidence to do the amazing things that he did. So when we have this ability to be honest, we have power. We have what in the military we call it a force multiplier. When you have morale, again, 300 at Thermopylae, the center does hold. I suggest to you that your identity is your most important thing. What you decided is, you as Macedonians decided is. That is foundational. At that point, everything flows from it. Again, I thank you for this opportunity to address you. I love all of you. I love Macedonia, and I'm grateful to be here. Thank you.
Thanks.